everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Say Lulu. If this is your first time here, I call all of my subscribers and all of my followers my besties because I believe that you should always look and feel your best. Now I know what you're thinking. I have not posted a video in a very long time. 2020, as you all know, was a very unpredictable year and it was crazy for a lot of us. So I just hope that you and your family are doing well during these times, and I hope that it gets better for the entire world. With that being said, now that things are a little bit more back to normal, I am going to start posting a video at least once a week. That's right, once a week. So in order for you to know when I post a video, you have to be sure to subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell so that you'll always. So it is my philosophy that in order for you to look your best, you must first feel your best. And I believe that a part of feeling your best is choosing a career that is right for you. So in today's video, I am going to be talking about my career and the pros and cons of pursuing a paralegal degree, which is what I have. Okay, you guys, so I have been working in the legal field for quite some time now. I started when I was 19. I won't tell you guys my age, but I started when I was 19. I was working as a receptionist at a law firm, and I eventually worked my way up to a legal assistant, because what I did was I went to the legal assistants and the paralegal for work. Sometimes they gave me work, you know, when they, I guess, didn't have time to do it. So I kind of learned how to do some of the work just by me helping the legal assistant and the paralegal at that time. Maybe after 2 years of working at the firm, I decided that I wanted to go to college, but I wasn't sure what I wanted to pursue a degree in. So because I was already working at a firm, you know, it didn't hurt to receive an associate's in paralegal. So that's what I did. I went to the local community college and I received a 2-year associate's in science degree in paralegal, which I would say is my first pro of pursuing a paralegal degree. You can receive a paralegal degree at your local community college, which it cuts down the cost. You don't have to go to one of the state universities or one of the private schools. You can go to a local community college, because at least here in Florida, they offer the paralegal program or the legal assistant program on an associate level at almost every community college that I have came across in the state of Florida. So that's one pro. If I had to guess, I would say that my program was maybe under 10 grand. If I had to really take a guess, I believe that it was under 10 grand. Once I stopped working at the firm, I decided that I wanted to work for the government. I wanted to be a paralegal at the state attorney's office or either the public defender's office. That was always my goal because I wanted to help people. So I applied for a job at the government, or at the county, if you will, the county that I live in. But I started off as a basically, it was almost like a receptionist position, because I just wanted to get my feet in the door, because I was still in paralegal school. I believe at that time I maybe had about 1 year left. And so I just wanted to get my feet in the door, and I realized that the jobs at the county are basically non-negotiable. So once I graduated, I applied to law firms and I eventually got a job as a paralegal. If you have the experience, which at that time I only had some experience, but if you have the experience plus the education, if you work at a private firm, you're able to negotiate your pay. I had both. I had the experience and the education, so I was able to negotiate my pay at the law firm that I worked after I left the county. Okay, so now I'm working at this law firm as a paralegal. worked in a department that they called, and maybe other law firms call it the same. It was called the first legal department, where we, the paralegals who was a part of that team, we drafted the initial plea, drafted the civil cover sheet, we drafted the complaint, we drafted the subpoenas. Of course, all of these documents had to be reviewed and approved by the attorney. So I was able to, even though I learned a lot in school, but I was able to do hands-on work and basically understand how the initial part of the litigation process works. That, to me, that was very rewarding, which is another pro. I believe that that experience, along with my education, helped me in my personal life, because if something like that were to ever happen to me, then I would know what to do. I know that if someone were to file a complaint, you're supposed to respond within a certain amount of time, and so I feel as if the program and also the experience helped me gain personal knowledge for my own personal benefit and for my friends and family, because I have people who call me all the time to ask me, hey, what do I do? I was in a car accident, or it was my fault, or what do I do? So I believe that the paralegal degree, along with the experience, has given me the resources. So I worked at that firm as a paralegal in the first legal department. Then I eventually ventured off to another firm, and now I am working for a firm that represent defendants. So before I worked at plaintiff, now I'm working at a firm that represent defendants. To me, I found this to be very interesting, very rewarding. At this firm, I was able to communicate with the client, to do the initial paperwork, the initial interview. That was very rewarding to me, because we're helping people, and it's always been my passion to help people. So just doing the initial conference and just speaking with the clients and putting them at ease really helped me, as far as really helped me achieve one of my goals in this career, and that is to help people. So that I would say is another pro of pursuing a degree as a paralegal. I just love helping people. So, and I do still work on the side of the defense, because it gives me a different perspective of how to view the litigation process. Now let's move on to the cons. One of the cons that I believe people may look at in terms of pursuing a paralegal degree is the amount of time it takes. So the paralegal degree is an associate's degree. It's an associate's in science and paralegal, and it's 2 years if you go full time, and I believe maybe 3 years or maybe even 4 years if you go part time. I went part time maybe the first year, and then the second year I just did full time because I wanted to be done. Now, a lot of people ask, should you get a certificate as opposed to a degree? I suggest that you should receive a degree, even if whether it be a 2-year degree or a 4-year degree, because with all due respect, I mean, if you want to receive a certificate, that's fine. But what if you decide later on in life that you want to go back to school? You don't want to have to start all the way over from the beginning. So that was one of my reasons for pursuing the paralegal degree on an associate level, because I was able to transition into the bachelor's program, where I eventually received a bachelor's in management. Me personally, I believe that receiving a degree on the associate level is better than receiving a certificate, but that's just me. That's just how I feel about the situation. Another con as far as pursuing a paralegal degree, in the classes that you take while in paralegal school, sometimes they are not so easy. I'm not saying that you can't do it, because of course you can do it. I did it. I'm just saying that you take similar classes on a lower level though that first year law students take, like like legal research and writing and torts and civil litigation. Those are classes that first year law students take, and those are the classes that you will take, obviously on a lower level. So you will learn how to write memos and briefs and research case law. That can be overwhelming, especially if you're working a full-time job. So people may view that as a con. I was able to do it while working a full-time job. So I do still recommend pursuing the degree while you having a job. My advice is to just take the program serious. So my final con is that once you become a paralegal, the job can be very, very overwhelming. It can be challenging because you may work in a firm where your workload is very heavy. That is common, and that's okay. But I believe in where much is given, much is required. So if you want more in pay, then you got to expect to do more work. I don't believe that it will be so overwhelming to the point where you can't touch a file until a couple of months. That is not true. I have never worked in a firm where I was just so overworked to where I couldn't get it to a file until after a couple of months. You have to pay attention to detail. You have to read a lot, and you have to be dedicated and loyal to your work, because the job that's just what it requires. I mean, obviously there's more that goes into it. Those are my pros and cons of pursuing a degree as a paralegal. Now, I will say that I did watch a few videos on YouTube of YouTubers giving their pros and cons of being a paralegal, or a day in the life of a paralegal. And I came across a video where this one girl, she posted a few months ago, and she did mention that she's new to the field, but she says she works at a firm that there isn't that much work, and her firm came to her and said, hey, if we're overworking you, let us know and we'll slow down. I don't know what firm she works at, okay? But then again, as I mentioned before, where much is given, much is required. In this case, I mean money. So if you want more money, you're gonna have to do way more. I've never worked at a firm where they ask me if they're giving me too much work, let them know and they'll slow it down. Now, I will be posting more videos regarding this. I'm going to post a video, what is the difference between a legal assistant and a paralegal? That is the most asked questions regarding this field. I mean, just really seriously. So I'm going to upload a video regarding. In order for you to look your best, you have to feel good. And if this is a career for you, I say go for it. It's rewarding. I believe that it pays well. You have to work yourself up. You have to be dedicated, and you have to be loyal. And just with anything, you just have to do the work. So until we meet again, my friends,